This is S&M Radio. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Mark.
During this episode, we're going to be taking a jump back almost to the heyday of our childhood. And we're going to be talking about a movie from the early 90s, 1991 movie by the name of Puppet Master 3.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm sure some of you have seen at least a few of these Puppet Master movies because, boy, oh my gosh, they are everywhere.
The Puppet Master series is Full Moon's Halloween or Full Moon's Friday the 13th. You know, it's like their flagship series. I think right now there's like 48 of them or something. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Did Puppet Master, did that launch Full Moon? Or was that like the beginning of that studio? Because, I mean, like, I think I look through some of their movies and everything, and like it seems like Puppet Master is like the most well-known of the series of anything that they have, right?
Yep. Yeah. Full Moon, I do believe was one of the first movies under the Full Moon name, because if I remember right, when Puppet Master was originally being made, it was going to be, that was when Empire was still around, which was another Charles Band company. Full Moon is a Charles Band company. But I think that was like the first one that came out under the Full Moon label.
I remember that being like, that was a big deal back in like, what was it, the late 80s, early 90s, Puppet Master.
Mm-hmm.
It really got around pretty quickly too, because I remember even as I was pretty young back then, but like people really knew what was going on with that.
Puppet Master was, again, it wasn't the first one to do this, but it was one of these movies that was originally supposed to be released in theaters, but then got pushed back, and then was, I want to say, was probably one of the first movies to go straight to video. And then all the other Puppet Masters, I'm pretty sure, have went straight to video. I can't imagine that after the fact that any of the Puppet Master movies did get theatrical releases. I'm trying to think if any of Full Moon movies as a whole got any theatrical releases. I don't think so.
No, I don't think any of the Puppet Master films did.
No,
I think those were all definitely DVD films.
And they're still coming out. So, I mean, they're still making Puppet Master movies. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the first Puppet Master movie, I remember a good friend of mine, I mean, this dates me a little bit, but this was like in junior high, was really, really, really into it. And he thought it was a great movie and introduced me to it. And I remember watching it, and you know, like I thought the design of the puppets and the whole thing. And this was kind of like Puppet Master came out right around the time when I believe Child's Play came out and sort of brought the whole living doll thing into the mainstream horror audience. And you know, and Puppet Master was kind of like the kind of the next level of that, I think, so to speak. It was like the next doll puppet monster kind of thing, horror movie, and they're trying to create a franchise, which obviously they did. But I remember watching the original, and I thought the design for all the puppets, like, you know, you had Pinhead, you had Blade, you had the Leech Woman, and Tunneler. I thought those were great designs. I always thought the puppets in that original film were awesome.
The other thing too with the Puppet Master movies, which this was kind of holds true with a lot of Full Moon movies in general, is because they're a really low budget. Yeah. But instead of just going like full out, like, okay, we're going to do computer animation or whatever we're going to do with these movies or these puppets, even some of the newer ones, they still use a lot of old school techniques. So there's a lot of like stop motion stuff.
Oh, yeah, totally old school. This is way before CGI era for sure.
Right. And even nowadays, even if you watch any newer Full Moon movies, they still do a lot of the old school effects. I mean, there's some stuff that's animated a little bit, but especially in Puppet Master 3, you can totally, you can obviously tell a lot of it's the stop motion and things like that. But I know even in some of the other full moon movies, they would do stuff as what they would do is they would have like actual, like when they had like puppets or whatever they had, they would have like actual like people like dressed up in these costumes, and then they would just like build like these giant sets.
Oh, and like, yeah, and do the whole like where the people were playing the puppet character.
Yep. Puppet Master 3, I don't remember if this was the first full moon movie I saw or not. It seems to every time I see it, I always seem to think that it is the first one that I saw.
So you saw 3 before 1?
I think so. I think I saw 3. Okay. Again, if everybody remembers, I've told the story like a couple of times, like going to different grandparents' houses and stuff for different things, like in the summertime or whatever, and then like go in, and we'd always like go to the grocery store or to the gas station that had the VHS rentals, and grandparents would be like, "Oh yeah, get a couple of movies," and would go pick some stuff out, and they didn't care what you got because they weren't going to watch it with you, and go back to the house. And I think Puppet Master 3 was one of those movies that I got. And it was one of those deals where, like, oh, this looks cool. Because I always remember the original cover had the 6-shooter doll on the cover. And then you had the other dolls in the background. And I think this is one of the, not only the first Puppet Master movies I saw, but one of the first full moon movies I saw. And if anybody that knows me knows that I have this weird love for full moon movies. I used to be kind of almost obsessed with them for a long time. And you
were a big Charles Band.
Yeah, I was going to say, and some people might even remember that I did a short-lived blog a couple of years ago, which I think it's still out there. I called it Beers with Charles. And so what I would do is I would watch a full moon movie or an old Empire movie or something that Charles Band was somehow related with. And then basically I would like write up a story of some sort. Usually I would tell like a story of something that happened, and I would like throw in like a review of the movie afterwards. And then I don't know why I stopped doing it. I every once in a while I think like, oh, I should do that again, but then I just never do. But I think if you like search for like Beers with Charles, you probably find it out there somewhere. But
yeah, that was kind of the beginning of your horror internet activity, right?
My horror journalism, if you will.
There you go.
Yeah, because I did that, and then S&M Radio started up, and I don't remember if I did any before we started up S&M Radio or not, or after we started up S&M Radio or not. I don't think I did. I did a few of them, though. I mean, I think I did like probably maybe even 10. I'm not sure. The storyline for Puppet Master 3 pretty much is the same as the storyline for every other Puppet Master. There's some crazy puppets and they're off killing people.
Actually, you know what? I hadn't seen Puppet Master the original for a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen that film, and but I did see it. Like I think I purchased it like in a compilation horror DVD. Like those ones they sell at Walmart for like $10 or whatever.
Yep.
And so I had it, and I watched it again. This might have been like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And the original Puppet Master was kind of a letdown. Like when I watched it again, like the thing that I liked the most about it was the design of the puppets, but the overall storyline I thought was kind of lacking. So when we were going back, I'm thinking, okay, this is Puppet Master 3. I don't remember 2. I probably saw it at one time, but didn't have any real recollection of it. So, we got part 3 at Flashback, and when I tossed it in, I was kind of thinking, well, I thought the original was kind of I liked the puppets. I thought they did a good job with the design, but the story was kind of like, didn't really do it for me. When I watched this movie, I actually was like pleasantly surprised by it. I thought it was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not enjoy it? It's a bunch of puppets running around killing people.
It's kind of like it's actually a prequel to the original.
It is. Yep, it is.
Which is sort of a strange thing. I mean, we have a different guy playing the puppet master, and then I kind of went online and looked at a few things, and I guess there's a few discrepancies about the dates and whatnot. So there's not like a good linear storyline being, told here, I guess, based upon like when this particular character was, like in the original film, the puppet master kills himself, and supposedly that was at a year that is different than this one.
Yep.
So there's some problems there, but I love the whole Nazi aspect of the film. Like it's basically based during World War II, and it's in Berlin, and the idea of, okay, so I guess the storyline is that there's the puppet master, if you don't know the story, he's created like sort of a serum that allows puppets to come to life, and the Nazis find out about this, and he's doing like a puppet show that kind of does like is disrespectful to Hitler. So they kind of get word that there's they want to go and kind of intimidate this guy and tell him he's got to stop his show. And I thought that the whole Nazi aspect, because I actually recently I had been kind of exploring the whole grindhouse thing, and there's a whole bunch of films about Nazi exploitation films. So I thought that was kind of an interesting angle to do that.
That's perfect. We should do a segment in a future episode about Nazi exploitation films.
We should.
All the women of the SS series. We should totally do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. This movie takes place in World War II, and that's all was one of the things that as I got older, because like you had said too, you have the Puppet Master movie, or do you have the Puppet Master movies in the box set, or do you just have like a Full Moon box set?
Oh, no. I had just like a DVD I don't have like, it had part one in a mix of other horror movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I actually have, I think like 8 or 10 Puppet Master movies, and it's one of those, like you were saying, like compilation discs you buy at like a Walmart or someplace like during Halloween time, where you get like for $5 or $10, and it's got like 4 or 5 DVDs in it.
Right. So yeah, that's what I have.
I have a couple of those, and they have a whole bunch of the Puppet Master movies. As I got older, that was one of the things that I noticed with this movie, which is not to say that in horror it doesn't ever happen, because it happens in almost every horror franchise out there, to where once you get past the first movie, the people that are making the later movies are like, we don't care what happened in the first one, we're going to do our own stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, because this movie, the whatever you want to call him, the puppeteer Toulon, is he's alive, and it's like 2 or 3 years after the first one, but it's a prequel to the first one. But he killed himself in the first one. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, like you had said, the puppets are really cool. You pretty much already went over the gist of the story itself. Besides Blade, I think Blade is one of those characters that a lot of people know.
Most popular puppet of the whole series.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the head honcho of it, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that he's a popular horror figure like a Freddy Krueger or a Michael Myers or anything.
No, not quite that level. No.
Yeah, I think you have to be you have to be aware of some stuff to know who Blade is, but he's pretty cool. But I think my favorite puppet of all of them is the leech lady.
Do you like her?
Because it's always just nasty when she attacks her, and I don't know how because everybody else, like Blade, he's got a blade for a arm or for a hand or whatever, and he cuts people. And you have the one guy who he's got like a drill bit on his head, and he like tunnels through people. And then you have
Tunneler.
You have Pinhead, who's got human hands, even though he's like a doll, and he's real strong, and he like chokes people to death and stuff. And you got like Six Shooter, who shoots people and stuff, but the Leech Woman doll, her like power or whatever you want to call it, is she regurgitates leeches from her mouth, and like just like bleh, leeches all over you.
Yeah.
And then somehow that kills you, which I don't know how that does, but maybe they're poisonous leeches. I don't know.
Right.
But every time, like in part 3, there's a scene where she's on top of a guy and she's all like puking up this leech, and it's got this like real close up, and you're just kind of like, ugh, that's kind of gross.
Yeah. Oh, it's terribly gross. Yeah, and it's kind of cool to find out that, like, I didn't realize this going into this movie that this was a prequel. And this is like this movie came out in like what 1990 or something like that.
91, yep.
And this is before prequels were a thing. Like I think Star Wars kind of was like the beginning of like where prequels were like, hey, we can do a movie based upon like the beginning, the origin story of some movie you're familiar with. And the Star Wars prequels were really like the first time that we ever really kind of thought about that or had a concept of what that was. So I was watching this movie. I had no idea that this was going to be like I knew it was based in World War II era, but I didn't realize it was a prequel. And then you find out that, that you see how these puppets, like the origin of some of these characters, like the Leech Woman and Blade as well, were in this movie, which was kind of a surprise to me.
Yeah, I think the most famous prequel movie would be Godfather 2 from like the 70s. But if you remember what a lot of people did, and I mean, they even ended up re-editing it and releasing it as a special edition or whatever, but would take the first movie and the second movie and like re-edit them so you had the stuff that happened in the second movie, like would go like in a continuous timeline kind of thing. I don't remember what it's like the Godfather Special Edition or the Godfather Ultimate Edition or something, where it's like a 7-hour movie. It's like the two movies like spliced together.
Okay. Right.
But it goes in order, so it's not out of order anymore. But yeah, I think you're right with the whole prequel thing, and it probably wasn't even necessarily even called a prequel back in those days. I mean, maybe it was, but they were probably like, oh, let's do a sequel, but this one happens before the last one. Oh, perfect. Yeah, Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought they did a really good job with it, to be honest with you. I was very... I thought Puppet Master 3 was really good. I know that sounds... I mean, okay, when I say really good, I'm not talking about, like... this is not a horror classic by any means, But I was pleasantly surprised in the sense that I sat back, put it on, was thinking like this is going to be a movie where I'm going to be kind of half in and half out, but I actually really enjoyed it. It actually kind of reminded me of like films that you would watch on cable TV back in the like the 80s or whatnot that you never really cared about or thought about, but then like when they were on, you were always like, oh, I got to watch that movie. And one movie that comes to mind is The Beastmaster. I don't know if you're familiar with that film.
Oh, sure.
But it was one of those movies that was always on. And like you never really thought about it or talked about it. It wasn't like a big name movie, but every time it was on, you had to watch it. And Puppet Master 3 actually had that kind of vibe to me, where it was like I tossed it on. I watched it earlier this morning, and I was thinking, the original was okay, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I liked the puppets, but that's about it. So I had really low expectations, but it kept my interest. I watched the whole thing, and I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I enjoyed that. And I like the whole Nazi aspect of it. I like that it was based in, during World War II. I like that it was a origin story for a couple of those major puppets. And
yeah, one of the things that I always remember with Full Moon back in the day, I always remember going and getting Full Moon, whatever they were at the movie, at the video rental place, because they had a whole bunch of them. It wasn't just the Puppet Master ones. There is a low-budget studio, and they got onto the whole video market thing. So they had a whole bunch of movies out there. They did all of this really cool stuff with the movies. What they used to do on the VHS, which they still have them like on the DVDs and stuff. I don't think they do them with any of their new movies. They still are putting out new movies, but they would put these videos on the end of like the movies. That was called like Video Zone, and it was kind of like a behind the scenes kind of thing for the movies.
Which was always just watched really that cool today, yeah.
Yeah, so that was always really cool. But there's a whole bunch of really cool movies. But yeah, if you go out to I think it's like fullmoondirect.com, the thing that they do now is they have like a streaming thing that you can purchase. Like it's kind of like a Netflix kind of thing. But it's all like full moon movies. When we were at Flashback Weekend a couple of weeks ago, and we told this story last episode, or a couple episodes ago, how we were kind of struggling to find a movie to review. And then at the end of the day, they announced that the Full Moon booth was doing a sale. I think it was like 50% off of everything at their booth. And so we just walked over here to see what they had. And the director of this movie was sitting there signing autographs. And you had mentioned to him, like, oh, yeah, we're just looking for a movie to review. And he gave us a copy of Puppet Master 3 on Blu-ray and signed it. And that's kind of how we came about reviewing it for this time. I didn't spend too much time going through the Blu-ray itself to do any of the special features or anything.
Yeah.
But I know that they still have like the video zone and stuff that they put out there. I saw that that's on this one. But yeah, I mean, Full Moon, I mean, that was always my go-to back in the day. Even, I mean, up until even a few years ago, I used to have, when the Full Moon streaming thing came out, I was a subscriber for probably a good year. And then I just got to the point where there was so much other stuff going on, and I've seen a lot of the movies and all this other stuff, so I really wasn't watching it anymore. So I ended up canceling it.
Is the 6-shooter cowboy puppet, is this his introduction?
I think it was, yep.
Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty cool character.
Yeah, and you gotta love the fact that he's like shooting up Adolf Hitler in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the doll for Adolf Hitler. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty good movie, and like every Full Moon movie, I mean, this one's pretty short, so.
It was a good movie, and that's the funny thing about it. Like, it kind of made me want to go like look at some of their other stuff in their catalog, and I watched some of the trailers on this Blu-ray, and I was like, oh, I wonder if these are any good, because like it was fun. I mean, it wasn't like, again, it wasn't something I'd say was like a classic horror film or anything like that, but it was like one of those movies where you're like, yeah, it kind of gets the job done, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever be watching a Full Moon movie and be thinking to yourself afterwards, like, oh man, I can't wait till Oscars come out. I wonder what kind of awards this one's gonna win.
Right.
I mean,
right, exactly.
But yeah, it's an entertaining movie. I mean, it's, there's some stuff with it that you gotta take with a grain of salt. It's a movie about killer dolls, essentially. What do you call those? Marionette dolls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of cool. But like you had said too, it kind of came out at the same time that Child's Play came out. I mean, maybe they were riding off the coattails of that a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, that would be an interesting topic to do one day too. Is like cover. I know we kind of touched on it, I think, when we did Child's Play, but like to go back and review some of those older, like even from like the really old like doll stuff from like the 70s, and what was the old Twilight Zone, really, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
See, folks, we'll never run out of ideas, because every time we do an episode, we're like, oh, we should do this. Oh, we should do that.
Oh, yeah. We come up with stuff all the time. Absolutely.
And then we end up reviewing movies like Late Phases.
Well, I liked it. You didn't like that one. We're kind of conflicted on that one, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of a rarity. It was funny, too, because when I was watching that movie, my wife was like, oh, you're not taking any notes? And I was like,
no need to, right?
Me and Mark usually are on the same page with a lot of this stuff, so I'll just go off of what he says, and then like we're like halfway through that recording that episode, I'm like, we don't really feel the same about this one. Weird. It's all right.
Well, I think we were similar, but I think I just kind of accepted it a little bit more than you did. I accepted its flaws a little bit more than you did. Let's put it that way.
Puppet Master 3, you give it thumbs up?
I give it a thumbs up. I definitely do.
Yeah, I'd say I do too. It's definitely worth your time. If you have a local video store, you might find it a little hard to find any of the old Full Moon movies. there.
Which is a bummer.
Yeah, but if you go on, you might get lucky, like on Netflix or on Amazon or something, or if you have one of the other, like a Hulu or something. I'm not sure if they're out there or not, but you can always do a search for them.
Oh, yeah.
Out there. Otherwise, I know you can go to, it's getting close to Halloween time, so there's usually some, like the Puppet Master movies, usually you can find like on a DVD at the Walmart or Best Buy or something this time of year for $5 or whatever.
Yeah, they're already starting to put that stuff out, I saw.
I know, it's cool. I'm excited.
Very cool.
I've been buying Oktoberfest beer at the grocery store for the past couple of weeks. And the one grocery store that I always had that has a pretty decent selection of beers, that's not too far away from my house. They have a full, a full rack now of pumpkin beer.
Uh-oh.
And I'm still holding off on the pumpkin stuff just a little bit, which I'm kind of like, every time I go, I'm kind of like, I don't want to buy it yet. But then I keep thinking after I leave, like, I probably should get some because otherwise it's going to be gone by the time it.
Yeah.
But, and every year it's more and more. Last year they had like two racks on the big thing that they have for the pumpkin beer. It was just like 2 racks on it last year that was pumpkin beer, and this year it's like all 6 racks of it are pumpkin beer.
Oh, nice.
And it's all like different stuff, and some of it you're like, that doesn't sound very good at all.
Right.
And some of it you're like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. But like they had like some that's like what was one of them, like dark pumpkin stout or something. I'm like, I don't know, that sounds like it might be kind of iffy.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong with an Oktoberfest.
No, you can't.